Welcome to the Antonio Crow Show. I'm so glad to have you. You are like a mentor to me. You're a great legend in the music business, and I'm just so glad to have you, Jay King, today.
It's my pleasure.
So we'll just get right into it.
Yeah.
How did you get into the music business?
That's a great question. So, I really was a dancer. So I used to pop. And and so then I go into the Air Force. I'm in the Air Force for a year. I
Okay.
get out in Alaska. And while I'm in Alaska, I start another dance group. When I start the dance group, I'm starting to do things in the city of Anchorage. And so I'm pretty uh, uh advance for them, as dancing and making things happen because I'm coming from a city into this, into this little town, right?
Okay.
And and so I eventually get into concert promotions and I bring Run DMC to Alaska.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh
So
wow.
when I first bring Run DMC to Alaska, Leor Cohen is the road manager.
Right. I heard that.
So Leor Cohen ends up becoming partners and Def Jam with Russell and eventually the president and all that. But he
Right.
starts off as the road manager. That's why me and Leor had a great relationship as things progressed. So
Man.
watching them, I I got into rapping. And so I
Okay.
started a rap group in Alaska called Frost. Me and a
Okay.
guy named Marquis. And we had a
Okay.
song called The Battle Beat. So
Man.
now it's time, people, you could take a seat because we're marching forward with our battle beat. We're storming, we're raging, we're on the warpath. Sucker MCs are going to fill our raps. We're going to line you up, slaughter you like cattle. There is no way we're going to lose this battle. I'm telling you the truth. I am no pretender. This is your last chance to surrender. The year is now, the month and the day. I'm Jay. But Mark got something he wanted to say. So we went double
Ah.
wood. Yeah, I went double wood. Would have been a hit if it would have been good. So, but that's how I started in the music business. And
Okay.
on an independent label. They didn't do well, but it piqued my curiosity about, these guys started this label. Why couldn't I start one? And
Right.
so I started a label and did the Timex Social Club record along with a group called New Choice and another group called the Active Boys. And I released all three records at the same time. Two
Man.
of them on J Records, one on King J4. So
Is this the
um,
same J Records from Clive or
no, JAY,
okay.
J Records.
Your record
So
company.
if you look at Rumors and you
Okay.
get a Rumors record,
Yeah.
it's going to have JAY Records.
Wow.
That was my first label.
And what's interesting is my sister's husband had that 12-inch.
Yeah,
And I remember the artwork like it was yesterday, man.
yeah.
And
Marcus's brother Daryl Thompson did that artwork on
yeah,
that
it had
album.
like two ladies and a guy on it.
Yeah.
Man, that
Well,
artwork and that artwork,
no. That
no?
artwork had one lady whispering in another lady's ear.
Okay, okay,
The Club Nouveau artwork had the three ladies, which was Life, Love, and Pain. But
okay,
Daryl Thompson didn't do that artwork. He only did
okay,
Rumors. And then
okay.
when I left Timex Social, or when they left me Timex Social Club, and I did Jealousy, I had to find
Yeah,
somebody to copy that artwork to make it to extend it. And that's when I did Jealousy and did the Jealousy artwork, and then Situation Number 9, and then Lean on Me, and then White Treat Me So
man,
Bad. That whole thing with that artwork. Yeah.
man. So rumors was
Yes.
big on K Day out here, man. You know,
Yes.
I'm in LA Compton. That's where I grew up.
Yeah.
And rumors, K Day, KGLH, man, that song was in rotation, man.
Well,
What
that was Greg Mack. Greg Mack was the reason why that happened. Greg Mack was the
yeah,
first radio station on the West Coast, K Day, to
yep,
play Rumors. No,
yeah,
nobody, KSOL, KDIA, none of the black radio stations on the West Coast played Rumors. It was in the South that the
wow,
record broke out of. It wasn't, but K Day is the first K Day, and then the station, the other, God, there was KUOP, I want to say, in the Bay
Okay.
Area. It was
Okay.
a college station. Yeah.
So, are you originally from the Bay Area, like, or where? What was your origin growing up?
I'm from Northern California. So I'm born in Orville.
Okay.
But I grew up. I lived in San Francisco, Vallejo, Oakland, Sacramento. So but my mother lived in Sacramento. My father lived in Vallejo.
Okay.
But I had cousins. But we moved to San Francisco. So from a time I was probably a little guy to about 3 or 4, I lived in San Francisco. Then we
Okay.
moved to Sacramento.
Okay.
So then I
Okay.
was back and forth between my mom and dad's house in Sacramento
Right.
and Vallejo.
So, where were you at the time when Rumors came out? Like, where were you
I was
based
living
at?
in Sacramento. I was back in Sacramento. So
Okay.
what I did was I moved from Alaska.
Okay.
While I was in Alaska, I worked in the legislature. I was the first black page that worked in the legislature in Alaska in 1980.
Was you the only black person out there?
No, 5.2% of the population is black. There's about 15, 20,000 black folk there.
Okay.
You got an Air Force base and you got an Army base.
There you
So,
go. Yeah.
in Anchorage, and then you got the Air Force base and Army base in Fairbanks. And there's only 3 or 4 major cities in Alaska. There's 600,000 people in the whole
Okay.
state. 300,000 live in Anchorage. 90,000 live in Fairbanks. About 30,000 live in Juneau. Juneau's the capital.
Okay.
And then everybody else is spread out throughout the other little cities and stuff. Palmer, um, and different places.
Wow. Okay. So your songs like Rumors,
Yeah,
Situation Number 9,
yeah,
Why You Treat Me So Bad. Like, Why
yeah,
You Treat Me So Bad was another banger, man, especially on LA radio, K-Day
yeah.
Again, KGLH. Man, how did that song come together? Why You Treat Me So
Uh-huh.
Bad?
So I was married when I did when I first started, and I had a son. My son was about a year old, a year and a half when things started to jump off, and my wife was a little short black Leo woman,
Mhm.
and she didn't play. And really, a lot of my songs, the Life, Love, and Pain album,
Okay.
the Life, Love, and Pain album, and the Michael Cooper album, Love Is Such a Funny Game, are
Mhm.
really songs I'm writing about her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? As a songwriter, and sometimes significance will ask you, do you write songs about relationships? I try to say no. But now when they see me that I interviewed you and you, sometimes it is about life. Most of our songs sometimes come out about life.
Yeah.
But Why You Treat Me So Bad was a banger, man. I guess because everybody felt it. What you think?
Yeah.
It's
I
true.
mean, I think in the beginning, Why You Treat Me So Bad wasn't the record. It wasn't,
Okay.
I think over the time, it has grown to be the record.
Mm,
But in the beginning, it was, Situation Number 9, of course, Jealousy, because Jealousy and Rumors were cousins,
mm,
cut from the same motif. And
mm-hmm.
then Lean on Me. Lean on Me became the biggest record from a
Right.
commercial standpoint,
Right.
um, off the Club Nouveau album. But Rumors is the biggest selling single record I ever had. I sold 3.5 million copies
Yeah.
in the
Because
United States.
as you know, like spoofing and Weird Al Yankovic would do those spoof records, but Bobby Jimmy had Look at All These Roaches from the
Yeah, but
Rumors
it
spoof.
did a couple 100,000 units though, so it wasn't a big record, but it was big for Russ Parr,
Yeah,
Bobby
yeah,
Jimmy.
Rush Bar, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought
and
that was
yeah,
that
he
was
asked me if he
hilarious.
could do it. Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was a good record.
Yeah. And then the Looney sampled what record did they sample?
Why You Treat Me So Bad? I got
Yeah,
5 on it. Yeah,
exactly.
and
And so
that's
go
why
ahead.
I gave them 50% of the song.
Oh,
But
nice.
everybody after that, I took 75% or more.
Okay.
But
I
the
mean,
Loomies, I did 50-50 with.
I Got Five on It was another big record. Like
Yeah.
it was like what were they thinking? You know what I mean?
Well, what's interesting about I Got 5 on it is I met Yuck Mouth. I was at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles on Sunset and Gower one day, and
Wow.
he said, "You Jay King." He said, "We sampled your record." So I'm like, "Yeah, whatever," because my publishing the people that run my publishing for me, they're gonna
Right,
take
they
care of it.
handled it for you. Yeah.
So, but I'm in the south of France for the Medium conference, and
Okay.
while I'm in the south of France, they giving free Billboard magazines,
Mm,
and so I see the Netherlands. I got
okay.
5 on it. It's number 5, and Australia is number 3,
Wow.
and Japan is number 6. And so I'm looking.
Yeah.
This record is big all over the world,
Right.
and that's how I knew that I was gonna make a lot of money. I got 5 on it, and I think that song to this day brings a nice, thousands of dollars a year. So
Man, salute to you. Salute to you for that. Salute to the Loonies for that.
salute to
Uh,
the Loonies. That's right. I thank the Loonies. And
yeah.
anybody that sample my music. And I don't make it difficult to sample my music. I don't care what you say when you sample my music. I'm not here to legislate what you say or how you say it. Um, as musicians and creative people, we should have the freedom to create what we want. Now,
Yeah.
I just like I have the freedom to say whether I'm gonna buy it or not, or whether I like it or not. But
Right.
once you create something, I think it's free game to
Right.
for anybody who wants to.
So where were you when you first heard your record on the radio?
Well,
And what record was it?
I got to be honest with you. I never even got a chance to appreciate that part of the game
Wow.
because when I did Rumors, I was the business. I was working the record.
Right.
So and if there's anything that I really regret, it's not being able to be an artist to have that feeling.
Right. You wearing multiple hats as a businessman
Yeah.
and also an artist at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's deep. That's deep because not many people can really resonate with that, I would imagine, from an
Yeah.
artist perspective. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite song to perform these days?
Um, I like I like them all. I
Okay.
just like being able to perform. When you've
Okay.
been doing this for as long as I've been doing it,
Mm,
um, being able to perform is what that's the plus.
right. So I met you at a meet and greet the first
Uh-huh.
time, and we were on Pico at a soul food restaurant, and it was for Ray Love's meet and greet because he was signed to Big Beat and Atlantic Records. So I was wondering what
No,
was
he
your
was signed to
involvement?
Young Black Brothers in
Okay,
Atlantic
what?
Record.
Okay, Atlantic Record. Okay, so but Big Beat, we had the meet and greet for him,
Hmm.
and so I was wondering what was your involvement with that Ray Love and that project and Young Black Brothers.
I did um I did the deal between
Okay.
Young Black Brothers and Atlantic Records.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I did the deal
He's dropping bars right here. That's
because
fine.
um because Kyrie was signed to me
Okay.
as a producer and a publisher.
Okay.
And then when he did his own independent label, I managed his label.
Okay.
So when they first did the deal was a production deal.
Okay.
And they brought it to me, and I knew who they were doing the deal with, and I knew he came from independent.
Okay.
And he said that now, so as we're doing the deal, as we're talking, Greenberg says, you know, I say we want to own. Is it a way for us to own the masters? Because Kyrie owned the masters,
Okay.
and he said, we can talk about it. So when he said that,
Mhm.
we walked away from it, and we started. And he said, "Bring me what you see." So
Okay.
we leave the deal, and Kyrie had a lawyer named Bob Lieberman, and so when Bob Lieberman couldn't come to the meeting.
Mm.
And so when we leave the meeting, I tell Kyrie, I can get you a label deal, not a production deal.
Right.
And instead of getting $600,000, we can get millions of dollars.
Hmm.
But I want 5%.
Right.
So Kyrie says, why would I give you 5%? I said, because you're going to get $600,000 right now.
Hmm.
What I'm about to do is going to get you millions of dollars. So,
Mm.
so we called Bob Lieberman, and I said, and Kyrie says it's not going to be a production deal. It's going to be a joint venture. And Bob is like, no, it's not. We've already got this thing set up. And I said, Bob, it's a joint venture deal. I've already got it written up. I'm going to send it to you. All I need you to do is send it to him. So I send over the deal. I've written it up. It's handwritten. I ran it. So they got to set it up. And then Bob Lieberman calls me and says, hey, man, I think you're going to mess it up for these guys.
Mm.
I said, Bob, we've already had the conversation. Just do like I asked you to do. And he sent them the deal memo,
Mm-hmm.
and they said, okay. And then Bob said, I can't believe you did that. And I said, yeah, that's what we are. And that's how Young Black Brothers ended up with Atlantic and Ray Love. And it was going to be, and Ray Love and Young Lay and Mac Dre and all the rest of them.
Yeah, Mac Dre. What about Mac Mall? Was he part of the Young Black Brothers as well?
Mac Mall had signed an agreement with Kyrie, and when he was underage, and I told them to go to court
Mm-hmm.
to get it rectified, to get
Right.
it, and they didn't do it. And so when Mac Mall turned 18 and he had done the Illegal Business album,
Mm-hmm.
and he told Kyrie he didn't want to be signed. He wanted to just have Kyrie as a producer, and he picked up a manager. And his manager was Layla Steinberg. Layla Steinberg was part of their camp, but she broke away and started managing him. She'd worked with Pac, and I think she made an unfortunate mistake of taking him away from Young Black Brothers, because he and Kyrie had a great chemistry, and they made the Untouchable album or whatever album they made after that, and the record didn't do well. And Mac Mall kind of, he didn't have as big a hit records as I thought he could have had. I believe the chemistry of him and Kyrie was magical, and they couldn't recapture that magic. Is once you break that thing, it's hard to bring it back.
Looking back through the years, what was it that drew you to the music business? Because you're an artist, and then you're wearing so many hats. What was it that really draw you to the business?
I mean, I've always loved music. And, as a kid, I loved music. You're a dancer, it's music. I played trumpet in high school, in junior high and high school. So I've always loved music. You just don't know if you can make it. And I never saw myself as being that good.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't think I was that good.
Mm-hmm.
And and I've always worn many hats because I've always been the leader of whatever it is that I created, whether it was a dance group or a basketball team or a gang
Mm-hmm.
or production. I just
Yeah.
always been I've always been the guy in the front.
And there's a few notable artists that have been in the military as well, like
Mm-hmm.
Nate Dogg and Shaggy.
Mm-hmm.
And so, did you do any music in the military, or you were just dancing?
I was only in the military for 1 year from start to finish, so I was
Okay.
out before I was in real good.
But you went to the Air Force, so that's what's
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
You
I
said I
wish I
was out
and,
before I was in.
yeah, I fighting too much, just not unruly.
Right, right.
You
I
know?
get it. I get it.
And oddly enough, both of my sons went to the Air Force and each did 7 years and were
Okay.
outstanding airmen. You
Oh,
know, but
nice.
it wasn't because their daddy was great.
Right. Right. So I don't want to rush over the Club Nouveau era. Are you still
Mhm.
touring with Club Nouveau?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. We have a new song. We had a new song out last year called "It's All Right." We did a video for it. It went 27 on the Billboard charts, and Soul Tracks magazine readers voted us best group or duo
Yeah.
for "It's All Right." Yeah, so I was excited about that.
Yeah, that's a great accomplishment
Yeah,
having this type of legacy in the business. Did
yeah.
you work with any other the heavyweights in the Bay Area?
Um, what do you mean? Well, me and Derek DOA Allen, we write a lot together,
Okay.
and we wrote "It's All Right" together. And we're
Okay.
working on a new song right now that I had written, but I like what he's contributing, so he's going to end up being a writer. And then I'm letting the guys that's in the group write with me to really round it out. So it's important to me that today, more than anything, that if we're doing it, that we're doing it as a group, that we're all in it together, that they get to glean from it and benefit from it. You know what I do know is that I make a lot more money than the other members because I wrote and
Okay.
produced so much. Me and Denny and Tommy, we did all the writing and stuff, so we make money from that. Um, and you just learn as you get older, and you learn how to be a little more selfless.
Right.
Yeah.
So the art of songwriting, do you feel that you've mastered that?
You never master the art of songwriting. It's a forever process. Listen, I'm listening to a guy right now named Pete Velasco. I wish I could write like him. Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
I love the way he writes. I love the way Lucky Witherspoon is a great writer,
Mhm.
and Joe Levy. So there's some great writers. If you to be great, you have to continuously work at the craft and hope that one day you get something out of it that people really enjoy. That's just part of the process.
And that's very wise coming from someone with hit records that you never master because sometimes you don't know what's going to be
Wow.
a hit, right?
Well, you figure I wrote a lot of songs and I just got a few hits, so you got to write a lot of them to get one.
That's true.
That's just the way that Tootsie rolls.
Right. All right. So, what are you up to these days? I know you're doing radio and community
Yeah.
events. So, what is Jay King up to? 2025. What we got going on?
Well, I wake up in the morning and work out,
Okay.
and then at 8 o'clock in the morning I do Kings in the Morning. It's my morning radio podcast
Which
from
I've
eight
been
to 10
listening
in the
to.
morning. Yeah, that's crazy.
Nothing
And
but
then
jokes. Nothing but
yeah,
jokes.
and then on Mondays I normally tape my show that airs on KBLA in Los Angeles
Okay.
on Saturday and Sunday. That's the Tavis Smiley station. And
Okay.
then Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 3 to 5, I'm on the air with KDEE playing music. And I manage Cameo, and I manage Eddie Levert, and of course Club Nouveau. And I'm the president of the California Black Chamber of Commerce, which
Man.
takes up a lot of my time.
Man, and so I'm not surprised. And I'll tell you, like, since I had met you at Atlantic at the meet and greet, I would see you in the airport, say what's up to you. And I mean, I would see you in random places, and you always about business, man. I always respect that about you, man.
Yeah.
And I want to model that as myself, as I've looked up to you through the years. I want to
Thank you.
model that because man, you're not only a legend, but you move like a soldier, man. And I really respect that. And I had to give you your flowers. That's why I was like trying to get you on an interview for real.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you, sir. So let me just say this though.
All
So,
right.
because a lot of people throw the L word around, like they say, legend.
Right.
Um, In order to be legendary, you have to be profound. And I've done a lot of things, but I don't know if I'm profound yet.
Okay.
And so, you know, while I appreciate when people say it, but I just think we throw the word around so much. Anybody can be a legend. You've been in the music for a long time, you're a legend. But very few people are profound. Just like people writing books. You got to write a book. So a lot of people write books that nobody ever read because there's nothing profound about the book. You know, when you
Okay.
look at Muhammad Ali, he is
Yeah.
profound. When you look at
Yeah.
Marvin Gaye, he's profound. So when I get to that point, I'll be the first person to tell you, I got to write a book now because I have reached that legendary status. And while I appreciate it, I'm nowhere near that yet.
Yeah. That's respectful, and that's an inner reflective response. But the point is, my brother, you got hits. But you know what I'm saying? In the music business, that is all we want is hits. You know what I'm saying? And so, and not only that, you give back to the community. You've helped build careers, and you're still managing careers at this point. Like, come on, bro, that's legendary, whether you
Okay.
acknowledge it or not. And if you feel that
Fair
you're
enough.
not profound yet, that's relative, man. That's
Fair enough.
relative. That's relative. And so, yeah, but I'm not going to take up too much of your time, man, but I appreciate you allowing me to have this interview with you, take this time with you. Is there anything you want to share with the people that's listening before we check out?
Now, you can check out Club Nouveau. Our website is clubnouveau.me, and Nouveau is spelled Nouveau. So it's club Nouveau.me. I also do solo records, so you can check out my music at jayking.me, JAYKING.me. And I'm the official J King on Instagram. And we are the official Club Nouveau on Instagram. And look out for us coming to a city near you.
Yeah. And thank you for everything that you've done for me personally. Listen to the records I've sent you. Told me it was trash a few times. I don't like that. You need to change it. So I just want to show my appreciation, my flowers, and thank you very much for this interview. And I'll be talking to you later, my man.